Yes, sir. The
Now, the
Duelist. Here
Duelist
it is.
comes
Show
with
me
a new
some
weapon
action.
type that it's kind of crazy we didn't have. Swords. And with each new weapon type, we want to
Is the
make sure
volume
that the
better?
playstyle feels different to all the others. So what defines combat with a sword? To us,
Dude,
it's
that
that
one right
feeling
there
of
is me
flow,
all day.
from attack to attack, and from stance to stance. And what better place to demonstrate the Duelist's abilities
You're
in
cutting
the
your
ruins of the Grand Arena? The corpses of the dead continue to fight
Dude.
endlessly as the arena
Gets
collapses
again.
around them.
Wow.
And should you get to the center, you'll
Was
be
that
able
a
to face
phallus?
Thrax, their champion. The first mechanic we need to talk about is ready stance. After
right.
using some Duelist skills, you can keep holding the button to ready your blades
Is
for
this
your
coming
next
out?
strike.
Did he say it was coming out?
Normally, your basic sword slash would look like this. But in ready stance, it turns into a deadly AoE slash instead. Your ready stance also has the ability to be upgraded.
Dude, that looks
This
awesome.
is Sand Scour, another ready stance attack. And if you stun enemies with it, you'll enter Sand Stance. And using this with your default attack will send out a sand disc.
I like it.
But default attack isn't the only ability that can be modified by your stance. Like Perforate, for example. This skill is a triple
Yeah.
stab, where the
Blood
third
stance
strike
and
sends
sand
out drills, bleeding your enemies. But from
Would be
ready
nice.
stance, you can skip right to the drills. If you use it from sand stance, though, it will send out a bunch of mini sand discs from every enemy it hits.
That one.
Perfect for large packs.
Sand stance is where
Together,
I'm
these
at.
basic abilities give a very unique feel to sword combat. It's
Blah,
quite
blah,
different
blah,
than any other
TV.
class we've made,
Appreciate the follow.
flowing from ability to ability. There's also some abilities that you can use while in ready stance, without breaking it.
No,
A
this
good
isn't
example are war cries, like this one, Intimidate.
Oh,
Use it to
shit.
deliver a cutting insult to your foe, intimidating them and causing your next attack to
Dude,
knock them off
I have a
balance.
feeling it's gonna have
Another
badass
great
voice
ability you
lines.
can use already is Rending Dash. This movement skill slices through monsters, but since you stay in ready stance, it allows you to reposition to the perfect angle to strike. So far,
Nice.
we've been using Sand Stance to tackle these enemies. But what about Blood Stance? For that, we'll need to switch from two-hand to dual wield.
Oh, dude, this is where I'm
Now
going
with
to be all
swords,
day,
we wanted to
every
make
day.
sure that the different options of one-hand, two-hand, or dual wield each
I'm a
have their
dual
own
wielder.
interesting playstyle. So unlike other weapon types, dual-wielding swords gives you the ability to parry attacks. Follow up with Bloodied Blade to enter Blood Stance.
Oh,
When
wow.
using this one with default attack, you'll create a deadly blood wave, causing your enemies to bleed. And of course, Blood Stance will also work with other skills that benefit from stances.
Dude, that looks
So
fucking
use it
awesome.
with Perforate, for example, and you'll get a
New
bunch of
skill,
mini blood
insulting your
movers.
enemies like
Once
great,
your
right?
enemies are bleeding, you
Bard
might want to
win.
try out
It's
hemorrhage.
coming, I think.
This skill creates deadly blood slashes that drastically speed up the bleeding on your enemies. And once the enemies have built up enough blood loss, slice through them with a Rending Dash to consume all the blood loss for a giga bleed.
Dude, I like the blood wave.
Now,
That's-
one skill
that's the
we couldn't
Gensing
have made the
attention.
Duelist without is Cyclone. It's an absolute fan favorite, and just like before, when using it, you can spin to win. But this class
Oh,
is all
dude,
about
he's-
using stance, so how about we try it with
Damn
one of
you,
those?
internet!
Use Cyclone from Sand Stance, and you'll be spewing sand discs at your enemies left and right. Great for AoE clear.
Dude, that
now,
looks
parry
phenomenal.
also had a significant upgrade compared to before, and it's a lot more reliable now. But there's also another way to
I like
parry
the
monsters
animations, man.
that doesn't
Where's
require
Whirlwind?
waiting for them to attack you. By switching to a shield, you can now bash enemies straight out of ready stance to parry them without waiting for an attack.
Definitely spinning. That looks crazy, bro. That looks like a phallus. That one with the ready strike, the dash forward, it hits everybody is insane. CSG,
During the
Dawn,
arena's
appreciate
heyday,
the prime.
challengers would first have to face deadly beasts to test their mettle. So why should it be any different now? Before you can face Thrax, you'll need
Yes,
to
it
defeat
does.
these dangerous adversaries to prove your worth.
There it is, dude. It's massive. I can't see anything else. Dude, that's gonna be awesome, man.
Another trick the Duelist has up his sleeves are buried blades. Earthrend creates blades that slice through the ground towards your enemies. And once in the ground, these blades have a few uses.
Okay,
The
that looks
first one
like
of these
the
can be done using
monk
Charge
ability.
Slash. The basic version is a simple lightning-infused cleave, but do it from ready stance, and it changes into a deadly spin,
Dude, I
sending
like
out
the deadly
lightning
spin right here.
projectiles. But Charge Slash can also be used with the buried blades. Hitting them will turn them into mini Tesla coils, dealing lightning damage to nearby enemies.
Warrior Spark build incoming.
It seems here we have a warrior who refused to die. I'm sure we could put his equipment to better use.
And we can put him out of his misery too, right?
Quiet. I've no guilt in this.
I have no guilt in this. Hell no, bro.
You could also switch to a two-hander to plunge your blade into the ground, sending out a set of 3 blades that explode.
It too. It's massive,
but if you use Earthrend first, then you can get even more blades, and the blade plunge will make all of them explode. If you want an even greater field of blades, using Ready Stance with Earthrend has an interesting effect.
Without remorse.
Instead of creating one blade, it makes an entire wall of them.
This one looks like it's going to be strong as well.
Skill to charge up the swords even further before they explode.
I don't know about that.
Watch out for those chimeras. So for maximum damage, use Ready Stance into Earthrend, charge them up with Charge Slash, and do a held Blade Plunge for a massive explosion. But that's not all. Blood and Sand work with the Blade Plunge too, to empower all your buried blades. Use it with sand to generate continuous sandstorms around all your blades. And this can be a devastating combo to blend bosses. Or use it with blood to create blood pools around each blade. Cycloning through the blood pools will add blood to your Cyclone, so that can be a fun option.
That looks
but while
amazing.
we're talking about that,
right there.
Cyclone counts as a storm, so it can pick up other elemental ground effects too. Blade Conduit will summon a bolt of lightning to your blade and create shocking ground, and cycloning through it will add lightning to your Cyclone.
So is it like Twister, huh?
Combine it with the blood to get both effects.
Damn,
and of course, it's possible to get blood, sand, ice, fire, and lightning all at the same time on your Cyclone.
Bro,
you guys will have to work
crazy.
out a good build for that yourselves.
See, this is going to be a badass class
Already
to
you can see
explore
from
and
just the
experiment.
tools I've shown you, this class has a lot of interesting combinations of abilities. With even just a few skills, there are a huge number of options you can do in combat. Now before we get to the boss fight of this area, there's just one more skill I'd like to show you.
The World Cutter.
World Cutter.
It fucking sounds
Charge
amazing.
it up and unleash the ultimate slash.
Get to attention!
But that's not all. Like so many of the Duelist abilities, it can be further enhanced with Blood Stance, or Sand Stance too.
Dude.
Alright, so those are just a few of the tools the Duelist has at his disposal.
Bro, this class
so
looks
let's use
insane.
them to face the true threat, Thrax, the champion of the arena.
I'm wondering if this is going to be Act 5. Act 5 boss or something. So this is a new boss. Yeah, the Super Slam. Takes a while to charge. Holy snap. Wait for him to spin it, dude. He looks slow. It feels like it's a slow fight. But, dude, this already has more mechanics. It already has more mechanics than the current bosses. Yeah. Oh, dude. I'm gonna name it. That's gonna be my build, the Genshin Potential build, bro. I like this one. I like this boss because it feels like there's a lot to it. He's building up lead on him. This guy's under-leveled, though. I can tell by the damage. He's a speedrunner. We use the Cyclone. I want to see the Cyclone on this guy. I haven't seen it. I need to catch up. I've been letting the episodes stack. Is he trying to build up the bleed so he can pop it? Oh shit, here it comes. Gets again. Wow. Oh, there he goes.
So that's a taste of what we have in store for the Duelist. It's my favorite class I've ever worked on, and provides a really dynamic combat experience that's just quite unlike any other ARPG.
It looks very dynamic.
We also wanted to show what kind of possibilities there are for the Duelist in the endgame.
Oh.
To do that, I'll hand things over to Mark.
Hi,
Bro, did
I'm
they
Mark
say it was
Roberts,
coming out
Game
in
Director on
5.5?
Path of Exile. Today, we're going to go through 2 in-game builds that we've put together for the Duelist made by our developers. Our first build is called the Bringer of Blades, a mighty name once feared in the arena. This build is all about rising buried blades from beneath the ground.
Because it looks like it's working
Some
just
say
fine,
each
boys.
sword created by this build is from a foe slain in battle in the Gladiator arena, and from the afterlife, they offer their sword back to you in respect. The bread and butter of this build uses Earthrend, supported by the lineage support Calm's Madness, to maximize the efficiency of creating buried blades. It combines that with the Blade Conduit skill, to charge up all the blades with lightning. You can also use the Astral Projector support on it to be able to do so from range.
Bro, it looks
if
crazy
you want to
good.
minimize risk and play shock ground underneath your enemies.
Everyone's going to be running
We
this build.
also have Earthrend supported by Electrocute, so that we can keep the enemies crowd controlled. Then it's just simple.
I don't know what you're talking about,
Spam
Adriel.
Earthrend, occasionally using Blade Conduit to refresh the charged lightning on all the blades. For stronger enemies, or larger packs, we want to be able to get sand stuns. The best way to do that while clearing is using Combat Frenzy. Simple. Now you're generating frenzy charges.
Hell yeah.
With those, we can use Sand Scour to enter sand stuns. And from sand stuns, use Blade Plunge
That's
to cause
massive
sand
AoE
discs
right
to
there.
appear on all of our many buried blades, covering the screen in storms of sand. Of course, you want to use eroding sands too, because as the sand discs are doing many small hits, you want to make sure enemies have as little armor as possible for maximum damage.
I'm getting
Alongside that,
overwhelmed
since
by
we're doing lightning
greatness.
damage, we're also going to throw in the new support Sandstorm, which causes our sand discs to become infused with lightning.
Right, dude. I don't
The
think
other
there's
tool
going to be
we're using is this
not
support,
gonna be a lot of
which
bow
causes
builds going
all
around,
your
I'm
buried
telling you
blades
what.
to add miniature auras that give you damage. To double down on that further, we have this new passive skill Notable, which also causes your buried blades to make you angry, causing you to generate rage on hit while near them. With those, we want even more buried blades. So, let's take it to the extreme. And for that, we have this skill, Rain of Steel,
Yeah,
which
everybody's gonna
allows
be
you to
playing
call down a
this
whole
build for
ruckus
sure.
of swords, covering the entire battlefield in buried blades. It's pretty obvious what to do next. Just use the existing combos, and the entire screen becomes surging with lightning as sand discs run wild.
That's going to be badass for like abyss farming.
There's more coming
and even like
still.
ritual where you got to in the
Alongside
same
the
area.
Duelist, we've made a whole bunch of new epic swords. I mean, just look at them all. This build in particular uses this sword, which causes all your buried blades to be enhanced by Karui magic and become ancestrally boosted.
There was a
Then,
pink katana I
take
missed.
these new passive skill notables, specifically for boosted attacks, to improve your efficiency even further. There's a few new ways to boost attacks with the Duelist, and we're excited for you to discover and integrate them into your builds. With all that combined, look at this actual mayhem.
Bro, this is fucking exciting as hell. He's got massive AoEs.
Now, we tried to not use unique items on this build, as we wanted to show its potential with just standard gear and skills. But
Omen
this
of Light
next
Lord.
one is a different story.
You got another Omen of
So,
Light Lord.
let's move on to our second build. Here we have the Scourge Walker. For this build, we wanted to do Cyclone with a twist. For that, we're going to use some uniques, starting with a new sword being introduced alongside the Duelist,
Oh, let's see
Oro's
it.
Sacrifice.
Bro,
This sword
everything looks
grants a
insane.
ton of fire damage, at the expense of your physical damage, and grants a new skill called Infernal Step. Infernal Step itself is pretty fun, and pretty epic.
What
Use
the
it as you flicker
fucking
around,
biz?
burning enemies as you strike them. Be
Bro.
wary though. There are
Flicker
both
what?
upsides and downsides to using this skill consecutively. Each use gains you a stack of Sacrificial Flame. While this isn't inherently a downside, using Infernal Step while you have
Yo, for
Sacrificial
real,
Flame
Beats.
causes you to take fire damage, and the more you have, the more you take. So you want to make sure you mitigate as much fire damage taken as possible.
I mean, you could just
In
become
order
immune.
to do this, we're
can
using
just become
even
immune.
more uniques. Like these, which have received some changes. Molten Tenet and Zoph's Blood. Then we've just gone and used good armor gear in our core armor slots to stack up as much defense as possible.
Yeah, that's one, that one area
So,
where he's like,
what about damage?
I can't even
We're
talk
doing
over
a
him.
few
This is
things
so
here
good.
that are pretty out there. Given we're using Oro's Sacrifice,
My God,
we're dealing
man.
purely fire damage. However, we still need to be able to bleed for some huge DPS you'll see soon.
Bro, these guys
To do
might have
that,
taken a
we're
lot of
using
inspiration
this
from
unique
Bleach,
ring,
is all I'm saying.
Blistering Bond. This allows our fire damage to scale bleeding, instead of physical damage. Our last unique is Barrack's Respite. As said originally, we want a Cyclone, which is a wind skill, and can benefit from elemental ground surfaces. Now, our Cyclone is a fiery vortex. One last thing to note before showcasing our Scourge Walker in action is that Oro's Sacrifice also grants you frenzy charges while at maximum sacrificial flame. This will allow us to fold Bloodied Blade into our rotation between Cyclone sessions to get Blood Enhanced Cyclone. Alright, now you can see our basic rotation. First, we use Infernal Step a few times. Then, once we have a frenzy charge, we use Bloodied Blade. This puts us in Blood stance. And then it's simple.
I'm at a loss for
Cyclone
words,
away.
boys. I don't even know what the fuck
As you can see, we have the perfect harmony of demonic powers. Blood and fire fill the screen. Honestly though, we need to add some horror and flesh to the build to really embrace the fantasy. For that, let's use this new support gem, which we will put on our Cyclone. Given we're already bleeding, this can cause enemies to shed chunks of flesh when hit, which explode after a short delay.
Yeah, with
check out this ruckus.
Definitely spin to win, man.
Oh, and while we're at it, let's add even more fire by using the Fan the Flame support. At this point, you can already see how much this is getting out of control.
Dude,
I love it.
Out of control.
You may notice we have an excess of frenzy charges.
Hey.
So, you want to throw on Echoing Strikes, which consumes all your frenzy charges to cause our next Cyclone to create a bunch of
definitely hollow form. Cyclones.
Feel free to add Infernal Cry to the mix, because why not?
Even hiding it.
Okay, well it's already pretty damn strong, but we can push it further. What about single target? For that, we're going to make use of our second weapon set, and use a one-hand sword and Targe, which
They
grants
said it was the
parry.
Scourge Walker,
However,
if I'm not mistaken.
instead of using a regular Targe, we're going to use this Runeforged Targe, which grants us a special version of parry that maintains its stances when used. So if you are in Blood stance and use it, you will remain in Blood stance afterwards. This includes while using the dashing parry that Jonathan mentioned earlier. We are going to want our parry debuff duration to be as long as possible, so we can spend more time spinning.
Damn,
to get that, we're using another new sword base type. This one adds base duration to parry.
Cyclone.
We've also then invested
like
into as much parry duration in this weapon set as possible on new passives on the tree. Now, we can make this even better by using a new support that allows our parry to apply armor break. And to get it to benefit from our fire damage, we will anoint the Molten One's gift on our amulet. Now, our armor break causes enemies to take extra fire damage.
Nice.
So now, we just get into Blood stance using Bloodied Blade, use parry, which dashes in, keeping us in Blood stance, then we Cyclone our way to glory. Don't forget to also use Echoing Strikes once you get enough frenzy charges. I mean, just look at this damage.
Sounds like me 100%.
You may have noticed we didn't show any Ascendancy classes.
Yeah, we did.
That's right. These builds weren't even Ascended, so their build potential goes so much higher.
But it's going to be broken.
And the Ascendancies are pretty epic.
A broken class, right?
Here's some art to tease them.
Hey,
but to find out more about that, you'll have to check them out when we show them at ExileCon later this year.
The one on the left
we
side
hope
is
you enjoyed our
crossbow,
Duelist demonstration. We're really excited to have you get your hands on it and start slicing and dicing throughout Rayclast.
Yeah, sir.
Now, Path of Exile 2's full 1.0 launch is later this year on December 11th. But if you just can't wait till then, next week we are doing our 055 update.
Told you it'd be next week.
It includes a bunch of changes as well as a new event. Given that, it's finally time to talk about Forbidden Rites. A new event based on the Ritual League that will be starting with our 055 patch next week.
Oh, so these are
the
changes,
that's not all.
Hell yeah.
We also have a massive overhaul to the Trial of Chaos, some new Endgame Abyss content, and more.
Abyss Ravines.
Let's dive straight into it.
All right, if you're watching,
hit the
like
Mists and his cultists, left unchecked, have spread their influence. By his will, the Nameless have been performing gruesome rituals throughout Rayclast, all the way from the forests of Ogham to the deserts of the Marraketh, and even Exile and the Karui Islands, afflicting everything around them with a foreboding darkness.
I like it.
As you can see, they've been quite successful in their efforts, and if not
Omens
stopped
are gonna
soon,
be cheap as
who
fuck.
knows what will become of Rayclast. During the Forbidden Rites event, your goal is to put an end to their nefarious plans.
It's massive. Oh wait, no, it's a
In
quarterstaff.
each area of the
That's a massive
campaign,
sword.
you'll find a ritual encounter. For those unfamiliar, these are effigies that are guarded by the Nameless and their servants. By defeating them within the ritual site, you can then activate the effigy and fight them again as they are revived by dark magic, all whilst various plagues will try to kill you. Defeating the revived monsters causes their blood to go to the effigy to be used as tribute. After the encounter, use the tribute you earned to acquire rewards.
Okay.
These rituals, unlike their in-game counterparts, will not exclusively reward unique items, and instead will give you a bunch of items useful for leveling, like currency for crafting your gear alongside a bunch of equipment.
Oh, this will be good for campaign
Ultimately,
progression.
in every area, you get to kill some monsters and then go on a small shopping spree.
I like it.
However, we know people liked having unique item rewards from Ritual, and we wanted that to still be present in the campaign, but we just couldn't give one out in every single area. Throughout each act, 2 times, and once in each interlude part, you'll see these clusters of more epic ritual effigies on the world map.
This is going to make the campaign...
When you reach these areas, you'll
fun.
notice that unlike normal, the effigies aren't just in a random location in the area, but they're on top of the area's boss fight. By completing these boss rituals, the boss will then be carried forward and added to the next ritual in the cluster in the next area, where you'll face it as part of an increasingly dangerous series of boss waves. For example, the first cluster you'll encounter is shown here, containing large effigies in Clearfell, Mudburrow, the Grelwood, and the Grim Tangle. If you complete the ritual in
change the way the
Clearfell,
minimap
the
looks too?
Hag
That
boss
should
will
look
appear during the ritual in the Mudburrow,
a little
alongside
bit more
the Devoured.
detailed.
Once you've completed that area, the ritual in the Grelwood will include Brambleghast, alongside the Hag and the Devourer.
I mean, dude, get it. I don't think there's going to be anyone playing Monk in the campaign.
Then,
It's gonna
to
be nothing
top it
but-
off, when you
wait,
get to
no, there
Grim
is.
Tangle,
Dude,
the
I
ritual
keep
in
thinking
that
the fucking
area will
Duelist
have
is coming.
its boss, the Rotten
Damn it.
Druid, and the previous 3, totaling 4 boss fights and 1 epic final showdown. That's where the unique rewards come into play. By completing these epic boss ritual encounters, you then get to spend your tribute on unique items. Given ritual is the content of the league, we wanted to make sure it worked in multiplayer well. Historically, only the creator of the area gets to spend tribute at the end, while your friends just have to watch. We've made some improvements to this experience. In 055, every party member earns their own tribute and can spend it on their own rewards, so no one has to miss out.
That's
In
good.
order to
That's
make
really
it
good.
not too
You gotta-
rewarding in groups,
it's gotta be that
we've
way.
restricted it so party members are unable to
No
reroll
more
the shop,
classes, just
and they
the
have fewer
Duelist.
options available to choose from.
But till 1.0.
So, that's the campaign and a multiplayer improvement. But what about the endgame? Given that ritual was already available to be added
That's what
to
it
your
sounds like,
maps.
Young.
Well, once you reach the endgame, you'll still have ritual encounters in every area, and they'll still give unique items and omens, but we've added 1 extra mechanic here to add new difficulty and reward heights to your in-game maps. After completing rituals in endgame, you
Mage
want to
blood.
keep an eye out for this item, a Sacred Bloom, which you can spend tribute on to acquire. If you happen to find one, you can then use it and apply an entrance to the Wildwood to an in-game map of your choice on the Atlas. Then, when you enter that map, you'll find this entrance at the start of the area.
Oh,
By
nice.
entering it, you're sent into the Wildwood. You have limited time here, but while in the Wildwood you can find wisps, and you want to follow the trails of them and collect as many as possible.
And then you can get
There are
omens in
3
there as
different
well,
types
right?
of wisps: Primal, Vivid, and Wild. When you then have to exit the Wildwood, the wisps are freed and will spread across the map, possessing and influencing many monsters.
Oh, damn.
Primal wisps,
That's
when
gonna be
freed,
dope.
can cause normal monsters to become magic monsters. Vivid wisps, when freed, can add additional modifiers to rare monsters. And wild wisps add rarity of items dropped to all monsters.
Oh, I mean, we're going for wild
If you're
wisps.
really lucky, keep an eye out for these sacred wisps. I wonder what they do. Of course, you can gather all 3 types of wisps if you really want to juice your maps.
I think we
And
all
by
want to
using
really juice
ritual
our maps, my
tablets,
boy.
you can increase the amount of wisps found while in the Wildwood. Be warned though, while affected monsters drop better items, the wisps also empower them. making them considerably more difficult to defeat.
Damn.
So, that's the Forbidden Rites event. While it isn't a full league in the traditional sense, it gives you the perfect opportunity to start in a fresh economy. For those of you who enjoy having clear goals to work towards, this event league also introduces a new set of 8 challenges.
Hey,
These include completing the campaign rituals, defeating named rare monsters, reaching level 90, and more.
Oh, nice.
Completing them will earn you 4 exclusive cosmetic rewards and a statue for your hideout to commemorate your success.
I don't know if I want to replace my Atziri, though.
Swarm your enemies with the Locust Footprints effect. And send your foes scurrying to their demise with the Locust Swarm Finisher effect. Fear the dark no longer with your Wildwood Guardian pet at your side. And level up in fashion with the Wildwood Affliction level up effect.
Damn.
Next, let's talk about the Trial of Chaos.
Ooh, the rework.
Since Early Access launched, we've received a lot of feedback about the Trial of Chaos. It was just obvious that it wasn't good enough. So we've gone through pretty much every part of this trial and made improvements across the board. There's so much to cover here, so let's just fire away with some of the more important changes. Starting with a banger, you can now leave the Trial of Chaos between rooms and resume later at your leisure.
Oh, that's good. That's really good. It's going to help out a lot of people.
Alongside improving almost every aspect of the encounter types, we've made far more of the rooms just about slaying all the enemies. Instead of the more specific objectives, like escorting the statue or implanting soul cores.
So ass.
We've increased the size of that pesky elevator and made them more responsive. We've made the doors between rooms open quicker and from further away. We've shortened the distance between rooms to have less running. We've added a lot more inherent scaling to the area and to the Trial of Sekimas too, to account for the lack of Atlas Tree. We've made the Trial Master only time freeze to spawn in all the monsters once at the start of the run, instead of in many of the rooms. On top of that, we have done a full pass on all the modifiers, making them significantly less dangerous at lower tiers, and rising to the same difficulty at their maximum tier. Additionally, all the modifiers now grant bonuses to item rarity too. The modifiers now also have better descriptions, being more explicit about what danger you're signing up for.
Hell yeah, man.
We've also added a new kind of modifier, called a wager modifier.
That's crazy.
These are meta mods that can significantly increase the danger and reward of your trial. For example, this one increases the tier of every modifier already applied to your run. But in exchange for that, doubles all the currency you've earned so far in the run.
Hell no, that ain't going nowhere.
There's about a dozen of these, and they have some pretty interesting effects. Sometimes you want to apply them early in the run, other times late. They add a very cool dynamic element to the mod selection between rooms. The Uxmal the Beast Lord boss fight in the Trial of Chaos has had its arena redesigned entirely. Less flying, more attacking.
Oh, nice.
The more significant elite monsters that spawn during the Trial of Chaos are now more dangerous, but more rewarding. Speaking of rewards, you can now also find these chests between each room to get some bonus items for your efforts. And the rewards available when choosing modifiers no longer offer random corrupted items, now exclusively offering only currency items and soul cores. Oh, and we've done a full balanced pass on those too, to make them more powerful, alongside adding some new ones to the trial and endgame.
Level 1 of all slam skills.
Speaking of the trial and endgame, for those looking for a greater challenge, you'll no longer need to have to stop after 10 rooms. You can now continue all the way to room 30, with the difficulty and rewards escalating as you progress.
Oh, hell
yeah. Combined with the previously mentioned wager modifiers, the rewards of these runs can get very juicy.
4 divine orbs.
Reaching these later rooms will also allow you to obtain all 3 Trial Master fragments in a single run.
This is cool.
Giving
this is what I'm talking about.
Players
being able
a
to
clear
test your
and
build.
reliable path towards facing the Trial Master, rather than leaving their progress entirely to chance. We've moved the functionality of the wager currency mechanic from magic-inscribed ultimatums that could drop from the Trial Master into the base mechanic. This can be accessed at the end of every 10th room. Overall, this is a much more polished version of the Trial of Chaos, and we think it addresses many of the concerns players have raised over the past several months.
Hell yeah. What are we thinking
When we
about
introduced the new endgame and
boys?
Return of the Ancients, we wanted the journey through the fortress to feel epic, and it was. But your first time
I
progressing
agree.
through it, it is a massive undertaking.
I like it though.
With a fresh
I like this, what
economy,
he's talking
we
about right
wanted to
now.
make the fortress easier to complete. So in 055, we're making some changes. After completing the main quest line, you can now just venture out of the fortress and find another Arbiter of Divinity key. By defeating this more difficult version of the boss, all remaining sections of the fortress will be automatically
Oh,
completed.
nice, dude. I feel like it wasn't that
Now,
bad though.
onwards to Abyss.
But they're just
We're introducing
Oh,
a
here we
new
go.
Atlas feature centered around it. We wanted to add more things to find when exploring the Infinite Atlas.
I agree.
So,
it
we've
definitely
added
sounds a
these
lot
new
more interesting.
abyssal ravines
I'm
that
definitely
can
gonna farm
appear.
it.
Each map on the ravines has abysses in it, and as you complete each along it, the next map gets more and more rewarding as you push the Abyssal Legion back.
Oh, dude.
When
The
you
amount
reach
of
the
times
last
we're gonna
map on the
hear,
ravine, you have a guaranteed
It's
Abyssal
coming.
boss encounter. The Forbidden Rites Event will not have Runes of Aldo content in each area. But fret not. Pharaoh, Danig, and Expedition content is still going to be available in the Atlas as core, and that includes standard leagues. You can now continue to find expeditions in-game, but from Act 4
Dude,
onwards.
I'm gonna probably be farming a lot of Abyss. Always.
In the endgame, expedition tablets will now be available, allowing for some new levels of investment into the league.
Hell
Such
yeah.
as having 2 full expeditions in just one area,
I mean, he does.
alongside
I
up to
agree.
2 standalone remnant encounters.
Holy shit.
With tablet mods,
Oh,
you
God.
can now even get many sentries per expedition, resembling an almost sentry minion build as you
That
run
looks
around
awesome,
and apply
boys.
runic modifiers to monsters across the maps. The existing Runes of Aldo League will continue to run, so if you want to keep playing there, finishing your endgame and completing challenges, feel free to do so. So
then what
that's all
happens
our new
after?
content summarized for this Event League and 055 update.